Dear Boomers, I was listening to National Public Radio today, and I was made aware of President Biden and Kamala Harris's idea to keep families together at the border as they come across the border, or for the people who have been here for a while and are married to, a U.S. citizen who is married to a non-citizen. Years ago, during the Trump administration, he had this policy where they were separating children and from their parents at the border. And even to this day, some of these people have not been reunited with their families. Well, at the time, I became a one-person revolution. I took signs down to the city square in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and started to demonstrate about these, in my opinion, horrible policies. Separating children from their families? Are you kidding? Well, that's what happened. And as time went on, we got a lot of other people to come and join us. We were enjoying our time together too. And also, I think the summer got a little too hot for people to join me, and just to stand there with a sign dripping sweat became kind of non-productive because nobody was around. It was just too hot. But now there's a new immigration policy. President Biden has announced new actions to keep families together and as well as securing the border. President Biden believes in securing the border, expanding lawful pathways, and keeping families together. Now, this was an immigration, it was almost passed, this thing, when Trump stymied it because he thought it was going to help Harris win the election, and he doesn't want anybody to win but him. And basically, as a result, people suffer. The administration of Biden has taken actions such as barring unlawful migrants from receiving asylum, deploying law enforcement, seizing fentanyl, which is the greatest killer of all, revoking visas of profiteers, and dismantling human smuggling networks. The new actions are that the Department of Homeland Security will ensure that the U.S. citizens with non-citizen spouses and children can keep their families together. Non-citizens must have resided in the United States for 10 or more years and be legally married to the U.S. citizen by June 17, 2024. This action will protect approximately 500,000 spouses of U.S. citizens and approximately 50,000 non-citizen children under the age of 21. So the administration is taking action to facilitate the employment visa process for those who have graduated from college and have a high-skilled job offer. And it is in the national interest to ensure that individuals educated in the United States can use their skills and education to benefit the good old USA. Come on, people. This is so obvious. Now, we have the most racist people in the whole world with Trump and Trump himself. What is going on here? The Project 2025 immigration plan under Donald J. Trump it's a radical plan driven by the Heritage Foundation and over 100 right-wing organizations. It's not just the Heritage Foundation, who are aiming to implement mass deportation and other restrictive immigration policies. Project 2025 seeks to implement mass deportation, restrict legal immigration, and roll back constitutional rights. The plan includes mass detention, family separations, attacks on dreamers, raids on schools and hospitals, and suspending due process. The proposal also considers using the U.S. military to crack down on peaceful migrants and engaging in war with drug cartels in Mexico. So this is the kind of thing that is a good reason not to vote for Donald J. Trump. Now, of course, you may be against immigrants. In fact, a lot of people seem to be very racist about people. These are human beings. These are children. And there's no talking to some people about this. But I'm very, very, very interested in making sure that Trump does not get elected. This is just one little thing in the Project 2025. And they are setting the agenda for the right wing to take over America, and it targets immigrants and anyone who looks like one. So if I just happen to have dark skin, they could come in here and take me. We know that the Heritage Foundation is the driving force behind Project 2025, but it is also made up of 100 right-wing organizations. They say we need to have the biggest mass deportation system ever. But now that the plan has gained notoriety and Trump has decided to distance himself from it, but that's funny because top voices within his administration have been responsible for writing this 1,000-page document that fundamentally alters our government and rolls back constitutionally protected rights in all areas, not just immigration. Women's rights, immigration, anything at all that, and anybody who doesn't like Trump, he will go after. As somebody noted, of the 38 people responsible for writing and editing Project 2025, 31 were appointed or nominated to positions within the Trump administration and its transition. When it comes to the immigration issue, Trump and his team have fingerprints all over it, and extremely racist and xenophobic ideas are all over Project 2025. Literally. Their plans take Trump's rally rants and lays out the policies to achieve it. They include mass deportation and family separation. So what I thought was terrible in the early parts of the Trump administration, it's going to get much worse because now he has a whole bunch of people who are with him. Attacks on dreamers and parents of U.S. citizens. They will raid hospitals and religious zones, and they will suspend due process. They will remove legal processes allowing immigrants a day in court by expanding the use of expedited deportations to the fullest extent throughout the country. It also gives DHS the authority to declare a mass migration event and enact anything to avert it. The proposal further undermines due legal processes by allowing immediate exclusion of migrants in the case of loss of operational control. It would create a show me your papers style mandate and require ICE to remove, arrest, and detain immigration violators anywhere in the country without a warrant, if possible. They will use the military, and they attack legal immigration as well. It seeks to restrict legal immigration by barring certain groups or nationalities from accessing work and student visas, eliminates DACA, family-based immigration, and visas for victims of crime, reduces asylum and discounts gang and domestic violence as grounds. So the authors of this is the famous Stephen Miller. We all knew that. He is one of those cold-hearted, he even looks like Adolf Hitler. Gene Hamilton, a guy named Ken Cusinelli, Tom Homan, who is Trump's former acting ICE director and is now a visiting fellow at the Heritage Foundation. If Trump comes back in January, I'll be on his heels coming back, and I will run the biggest deportation force this country has ever seen. Oh my God, this Homan guy said that, and they ain't seen shit yet. Wait until 2025. Well, as we have seen too, they have 2025 is just a number because they've started all this process before. Since leaving this Trump administration, Homan has associated himself with hate groups and has been a vocal messenger of white nationalist conspiracy theories. Homan told the New York Times he'd come back for the second Trump term to run the largest deportation operation this country has ever seen. Like Steve Miller, he means it. And then, of course, the New York Times, I think, has just made a disgusting comment in relationship to that, which is Thomas Homan deports people, and he's really good at it. Why would you say that? So I just wanted to make people aware that mass deportation and all the ugly sides of that will be a thing under Trump. If he wins, this is why he must not win. That's just one reason why he must not win. I find this to be almost impossible to sit here and tell you about it. It is so absolutely unimaginable to anyone who loves this country, who loves all people, and who is dedicated to the American way of life, not dictatorship, and not anything that has to do with Donald Trump. Take a look over here, and you can see another video.